Good afternoon and welcome to Educational Management 1. I want to refer you to the codes that are appearing on your screen: ACS-EM11, DPP-EM31. And this is our assignment-based presentation for 2018. My name is George Kandetu, and on the screen you will see my cell phone number. First of all, let us look at how the course outline looks like. The course is ACS-E, as I said, and DPP-E, and the subject is Educational Management 1, and there you have the codes as well as the details, including my email address. And very importantly, the deadline for this assignment is 15th of January 2018 and the 15th of June 2018 respectively. And in front of you, you have now the prescribed materials that will help you to answer questions of these assignments. Clark A 2007, the book titled The Handbook of School Management. And then of course your study guide for educational management, as compiled by Michelle Hatton. And I want to speak to you about the role of the study guide in this whole assignment. That is now to guide you through prescribed materials. Remember that the study guide is a research document and it is tailor-made for your course, so you cannot do assignments or study without your study guide. Although you may get information from other sources, remember that the study guide is actually the guiding document that you will need at all times. This document will give you direction. It will keep the outcomes of each unit as well as the module outcomes in mind. And it is also to expose you to learning activities which you can use as means of self-assessment. You will see that after every unit, there are also some self-assessment activities that you can do which prepares you for examination or even for your assignments. All right, let us look a little bit to assignment policy. You know that it is continuous assessment per trimester, which consists of one assignment of 120 marks. And a 50% semester continuous assessment mark is required for admission to examination. So in order for you to be admitted for your examination, you need to have at least 50%. And since you have all the time and all the resources to your disposal, there is no need for you to settle with the 50%. I would say gain more than 50%. The assignment instructions are also included in the assignment pack that you got. You need to read the instructions and keep to the suggested structures. Do not copy blatantly. We call that plagiarism from a source. You should refer to that source in the text. So the moment that you have research from a certain source, then you must acknowledge correctly the source in your assignment. When your own analysis or evaluation is asked, you are expected to use your experience as a teacher. And you will see as I'm going through this presentation that there are various points that I will refer you to make your own or to make use of your own experience or to make examples from your own teaching experience. Students are expected to write or type on one side of the page to make the marking more easier. Staple separate pages of the assignment on the left top corner. Clearly number the questions and subsections as well as the pages. Write the title of the assignment on the cover of the assignment. What we are saying here is that your work must be presentable, because work that are not neat create a bad impression about you, and also the marker will penalize you for that. This is how the assignment structure will look like. This assignment is marked out of 120 marks, as we said before. The assignment consists out of 4 questions, and all 4 questions are compulsory. The assignment should be structured as follows. There you have it. Your first page is the cover page, normally provided by IOL. And the second page is a table of content, and should consist of all the headings and subheadings, as well as the corresponding page numbers, where the headings can be found. And the subsequent pages are the pages where you answer question 1 up to question 4. And the last page is the list of references. The materials that you have consulted must be listed in the last page. Now, the assignment itself, you will receive it, and you will find questions that are related to management levels. We know now the management levels, which are the top management level, middle management level, as well as the lower level management. You need to describe these management levels by looking at the functions of these different levels of management, and you must apply the question to school context. You will find that your study guide is written more generic, more in a general manner. So you will need to bring it down to a school context. For example, if you refer to top level management in a school context, who are you referring to? If you talk about mid level management, who are you referring to? And lower level management, who are you referring to? That's what we mean with you must contextualize it, you must put it in school context. And that we can do by giving relevant examples in each case. And then it deals with the importance of the following concepts: effective classroom management and effective school management. What do we mean by an effective classroom management? What is required from a teacher in terms of effective classroom management, or to effect classroom management? And also, when we look at the whole school, effective school management, what is meant by that? So you need to give relevant examples from your own teaching experience. So in other words, you consult the study guide, but you back what you say with your own experience in terms of classroom management or in terms of school management. The next question deals with comparing features of an autocratic as well as a participative management styles, or democratic management style also as it known. So you need to describe some examples or give a situation in which a particular management style is suitable. For example, autocratic management style. We don't say it's a bad management style. There are instances or situations where you need to use autocratic management style. Similarly, there are also instances where you need to use participative management styles. So you need to give us these examples or situation or context in which any or one of those management styles are suitable. And you motivate why you say that is suitable for that particular situation. Managing diversity in an all-inclusive school. The Namibian context presents itself with a diversity of culture, both the learners as well as teachers. So we need a principal that is very open-minded in terms of managing diversity. So look at the issue of how should this principal be? What are the characteristics of such principal to be able to manage a diverse school or an all-inclusive school? This should be a principal, for example, that is open-minded and that can look at the different capabilities and talents that are presented by the school he is leading, and be able to harness all these talents and capabilities in order to develop a new culture, which is the culture of that particular school. So such a principal is open-minded, is also culturally sensitive, and he's also so open that he or she is able to make use of the languages that present themselves at the school in order to develop an inclusive school in terms of culture and languages. Look at the ethical issues. They say ethics is actually a science of knowing between wrong and right. It's a science of morals. So, how can we use ethics to influence management? So the moralities, the right or the wrong thing in a school can be used in order to manage the school. It also look at the issue of governance, because schools should now be governed in terms of being accountable. We need to have values in schools that determines governance. We need to have a commitment in schools that are part of governance. And then in the last analysis, the ITC policy as part of the management of a school computer room. A school computer room is a very sensitive area, and we need to have strong policies in order to manage computers. There are sensitive materials that are in the computer. We need to look at how information will be made accessible to learners. There are certain information that cannot be accessible to learners. How are we going to control that? Even when it comes to teachers, for example, we need to have a policy that determines which teacher has used the computer the last, and which site were visited by that particular teacher, and is that site, was it ethically correct for the teacher to visit that site, and also the learners. So I have put a site that you can visit here. It is on the screen, which is going to give you more information when you want to draw up a policy that is related to management of school computer room. So you need to visit that site for you to be able to answer the question. The next question deals with professional development of staff. It's very explanatory in your study guide, professional development of staff, and then you need to give also relevant examples of professional development. How can we develop staff professionally? And then the next one looks also at school social responsibilities. We know that the school is not an isolated entity. There are various requirements, there are various aspects that a school need from the society, and also the society will need also various things from the school, and that is what we call the two complement each other. So you can describe two ways of how a school's social responsibility and vice versa can be effected. Another question deals with HIV and AIDS policy, the universal precaution, because we are dealing in our schools with learners that are HIV positive or that are affected by HIV and AIDS. So what are the precautions that must be in place? How should one handle a child, for example, that is bleeding? So those are the precautions that we are talking about. Rights for the HIV and AIDS infected persons, whether they are teachers or learners, they have their rights. For example, the right to disclosure. No one has the right to pressurize an HIV or AIDS person to disclose information. So here you need to put down what are the rights for the HIV and AIDS infected persons. And then the questions also touched on sexual abuse at the workplace, code of conduct to curb sexual abuse. So what can we do to curb sexual abuse? That will be the end of our presentation. I hope that you are going to put a lot of effort to answer these questions to the best of your ability. As I said before, you have the time and you have the resources for you to answer the questions correctly and to the best of your ability. So good luck with your assignments.